Using the extruder. First off, we want to make sure that it is clean. So previous users should have all the attachments off of it. There should be two screws with nuts on them. Those should be in the container to the right of me in the window, along with a blue plate that holds that in, and then all of the extruding die are on the windowsill. So currently what I'm doing is I have lifted the handle and placed that on top of the extruder so that I can clean every little piece out. Again, you should clean it out after every use. Once it is clean, you now then figure out what dies you're going to use. I'm going to show you different dies. We do have several different ones. Primarily one we're going to use is the one for coils. We do have ones in different sizes. That one has handles on it. And then we have larger ones. The larger ones are used for tubes. As you will see, I will show you in just a little bit. So this one is one that has a little holes on the little cut. So that is where the wire piece goes. We can fit it in like that, and then that will make a hollow tube. The metal piece always slides up into the extruder. You get the bracket that holds it all in. Put that together. This is if we were making tubes. So that slides up, and then you would put the nuts and bolts on each side and tighten that up. For this demo, we are going just to extrude coils. So I'm going to use the coil die with the larger one. Again, make sure that is clean, as it looks like the person previously used porcelain and we are using stoneware. So again, clean that up. If I was just to put that in there and extrude it, I would get 4 different sizes. So this blocks off the area that I only want. Now the silver piece goes up above the die, and then we will put our little holding bracket on. So just like that. Make sure to grab your nuts and bolts. So again, the bolts go down, and then this will just slide right up on each side of it. Again, take your time. We're using a 3/4 inch nut. So there are 3/4 inch wrenches. They have red spray paint on them, which I will show you. So again, you want to tighten them as tight as you can with your hand, and then go back with 2 wrenches, a wrench on the top, and then a wrench on the nut to tighten it up as tight as you can. For all the gentlemen out there, if you tighten it too tight, make sure you take them off. You know, this is not a strength competition. So you want them tight enough that the clay doesn't leak out the sides, and you will experience that. You will know that on your first time extruding a coil. So again, tighten them as tight as you can with your hand. Grab the 2 3/4, 3/4 wrenches. Again, they have a little red spray paint, both of them. Again, one at the top. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Again, the trash can is below, and that's just in case to catch all the stuff so it doesn't go on the floor. If it does go on the floor, make sure you use a dustpan and sweep it all up. Okay, once that is tight, put that away. Again, you want a chunk of clay, a full bag of clay. You cannot fit at one time, so you want to do small amounts. Lift that up. Put your piece of clay in there. And then carefully pull down. It will take some strength. So I am using my body, grabbing onto that pole, pushing it. I am using a little bit harder clay. Softer clay will work. What I would suggest is getting a board with newspaper and setting it next to you. So then you can lay this coil onto that board, so you can work on your projects. Okay. Again, I'm just using my thigh now, getting as much as I can out of there. Every little piece helps. Okay. As you can see, that little piece, that's coming from the side, so that doesn't bother me. Now if there's a large piece that's coming out of the side, then we would have to readjust. Now when you're done, we're just going to pretend that I am done. Again, set it on top, bring the trash can back over, and then begin cleaning it. So we want to get it as clean as we can so that the next person using it can just set it up and go. Look out for that person again. Get the bolts lefty loosey, righty tighty. Since using clay, this should that blue piece will fall off. So again, once you get closer to that second nut of coming off, make sure that you have your hand underneath it to catch that blue brace that is holding the die and that metal piece to the extruder. Make sure you always put the nut back onto the bolt so we know that they go together. As you can see, the blue piece is getting loose, so again I just hold that onto that. Take the blue brace, take that out. Again, the green die is held in there because we extruded clay through it, so there's still some clay in there. So that is holding onto that. Again, put the nut back onto the bolt. Carefully with your hands, pull that down. Again, clean the metal piece off, clean the die off. I clean it off with that, and then I would go over to the sink and wash it off with a sponge. Again, do both pieces. I put that back in there, move the trash can as it will push the rest of the clay down through. I will usually just toss that. You can put more clay in there and keep on extruding more coils if you would like to, but since the pieces were dirty previous, I am just going to throw that little bit away. Go back on the interior, clean off all the clay that is against all the walls. Once this is all done, make sure all the tools and stuff get put back into the coffee bucket that's along the window. That means the two bolts, the cleaning tool, the brace, the metal piece, and then all the die cuts are stacked up against the window. And put that back in and close that down, and that is how you use the extruder. If you have any questions, please email me or talk to me during class.